Rainfall is the lowest on record for huge parts of Australia.
This is an act of God.
We are in uncharted territories with this drought.
Covering some 95% of New South Wales and some 2/3 of Queensland, this drought is having a devastating impact on local communities.
Coalition frontbenchers are touring New South Wales and Queensland this week for a first-hand look at the state of play in Inverell, Warwick and Stanthorpe. Locals in these towns say drought is preventing their crops from growing, or forcing them to prematurely cull fruits and vegetables to keep trees alive for the next season. Cattle and sheep farmers are being forced to sell underweight animals to make ends meet. Some have even been forced to put cows down after becoming trapped in the glue-like mud of empty dams. The downturn in production is having a flow-on effect on entire communities because people are spending less and sticking to the staples. Tourism has been on the decline, especially in Stanthorpe. Until rain eventually relieves the drought, locals say they need water diverted from coastal regions, new and improved dams, streamlined support services, and more tourism to prop up ailing local economies. So how does the political response compare to the needs on the ground? Labor says the government needs to do more and formulate a drought policy, as it seeks an inquiry into the Coalition's multi-billion-dollar assistance package.
The fact is that this government has had a drought coordinator, they've had a drought envoy, they won't release the information. They could start with releasing the report from the drought coordinator, acting on those recommendations, developing a national drought strategy. We need one for this country. This government has been there for 7 years.
The Coalition has a suite of support for drought-ravaged Australians. The government is providing $7 billion to help farmers and communities plagued by drought. The main pillar is the $5 billion Future Drought Fund, to boost resilience in the years to come. From July 2020, the government will invest $100 million from the fund every year for projects to boost drought resilience. In September, Drought Minister David Littleproud said there's $2 billion being spent in the here and now. The next biggest feature is $1.3 billion for the National Water Infrastructure Development Fund, which can be spent on dams, irrigation schemes and other works, and $1 billion in concessional loans through the Regional Investment Corporation. A slew of other features on offer include the Farm Household Allowance to prop up farmers, financial counselling and mental health services, funding for wild dog fencing and other pest and weed removal, and the National Drought Map, which combines population data and information on drought conditions. On top of the $7 billion, the government committed $100 million to offer $3,000 payments for families to cover household expenses and streamline the farm household allowance. The Drought Minister, however, passed the dam building responsibility onto states.
We've put $3.2 billion out there. Since 2003, 20 dams have been built in this country. 16 of those have been in Tasmania. The frightening thing is that the states have had responsibility of this since Federation. It is illegal for a federal government to lift a shovel and dig a hole anywhere in this country unless the states allow us. But what's going to happen? It's not just about agriculture, it's about urban amenity. There will be a 37% reduction in storage per person per megalitre in our urban supply, which puts our whole being in terms of urban amenity, being able to turn a tap on, at risk. All we've said is we've led. In fact, Barnaby Joyce was the one that put in place the National Water Infrastructure Fund to say, come and get it. Come and take the money. You build them. We will help pay for it. We're still there, and we hope, and I think that we'll see very soon that New South Wales is finally going to take the lead on this, and I congratulate them for this. But we've got in Queensland a perverse situation.
Perhaps more spot fixes will be announced after Treasurer Josh Frydenberg and the Drought Minister complete their 3-day tour. Philip Ritchie, Sky News.